Got a really interesting video today because this is a topic that has not been researched that well because it's kind of like how you feel it. And by the title of this video, I've already like guessed it. It's about like mind muscle connection. And got a really interesting question. And make sure you keep commenting on my other videos for if you're watching this video. And questions like this, comments like this, not only help you but also help others that might be in the same boat as you or might have some similar problems as you're facing right now. So you're not only doing a good service to yourself by clarifying any problems that you have right now. Make sure that you comment down like at like in as much like detail as possible. And yeah, so you're doing a good service to yourself but also to someone who might be in the same like boat as you. So yeah, without any further ado, let's get into the question. The question is really simple, which is mind muscle connection so damn important for muscle growth? One is performing some incline dumbbell press where he cannot do more than 8 reps, but the person is not feeling any pump in his chest, but still his chest grows without having a feeling of stretching his chest fibers. So mind muscle connection important. The one is a beginner or an entry level or an intermediate level lifter. By the way, love your videos, helps a lot. Like this whole question pretty much sums up your answer, right? Like the question you asked me pretty much sums up the answer at the I would say at the middle and the end of your question, right? The reason I say that is because you say that you're not getting any chest pumps, but your muscles are growing. And the only reason that I could think of is because you're a newbie. You are a beginner. As you already mentioned, the one is a beginner or an entry level lifter or an intermediate level lifter, which means you still have, if you're a beginner, obviously you have a lot of like those newbie gains left, like that potential left. So you can have for a longer period of time those newbie gains. So you would just, go to the gym and just breathe the gym air, you would gain some muscle. That was just an exaggeration, like a metaphor, but like you get the point what I'm saying. You just do some like normal exercises and you gain muscle, right? Provided your diet is on point and recovery is on point. And even if you're like an intermediate level lifter, still you have some of those newbie gains left. And I've made an entire video on how to get the maximum of your newbie gains. Make sure to check that out. So if you're a beginner, you have all of those weapon in your arsenal that make sure that you gain the most amount of muscle possible at the beginning stage, right? So yeah, like mind muscle connection really helps in every single phases of a lifting career, right? But to answer your question is that you're not feeling any pump, but still your chest grows. That like the only reason that I could think of is you're a beginner. Like doesn't matter whatever like doesn't matter what you do. Absolutely doesn't matter what you do. It's like you just do it and you will see results at the beginning, right? Like let me remind you at the beginning it would not happen as you move forward in your lifting career, right? Because then it's going to be harder for you to build the muscle. That's when you will need real mind muscle connection. And I'm going to exactly show you how to do that and the reason you need it, right? I mean, because if you understand the reason, it's much easier to basically help yourself, right? Instead of just watching how to do like how to gain mind muscle connection. So yeah, here's the thing. Mind muscle connection is kind of that um thing or like that level of skill which you unlock after practice and like years of practice and understanding and exercise really well, right? Even for me, I have an elite level mind muscle connection in a lot of exercises, but kind of like okay level mind muscle connection in a few exercises, right? I would say that happens like okay level mind muscle connection happens is dumbbell rear delt flies. So you bend over and you do like dumbbell rear delt flies. I don't have an elite level mind muscle connection in that muscle in that exercise. What I do have is a reverse pec deck. I have really good mind muscle connection in that exercise, right? So even like for me who has been training for a lot of years, you still need the reps in, you still need the practice in, right? That's how you build mind muscle connection. That's how you know that which like target muscles are you involving. And the exact way that you do it is really simple. And if you're a beginner who's watching this video, I would advise you from the beginning to not like train like a maniac. Try and gain the mind muscle connection. I mean, here's the thing: if you gain mind muscle connection very early on in your lifting career, like you would be able to build so much more muscle, like so much more muscle than you would have otherwise built without that mind muscle connection. Just like that guy comment that he doesn't feel a pump in his chest, but still his like chest grows. So yeah, the best way to do it is really simple. Just close your eyes and imagine that your muscle fibers are being stretched and contracted. So let's say that example, you're doing incline dumbbell press. When you're doing the eccentric portion of the exercise, think about those chest fibers. And I already know that you know how those chest fibers looks like if you have been watching like Jeff Nepart's video, Athlean-X videos, you know, all of these mainstream fitness influencers videos. You already know like how they draw those chest fibers. So yeah, just imagine like, you know, that I mean close your eyes and perform the exercise. Just imagine that your chest fibers are being stretched right now and the chest fibers are being contracted right now. It's that simple. And the reason I say that you should close your eyes is because if you're looking at yourself in the mirror, if you're looking at other guys at the gym, it's kind of like a, you know, like a huge distraction for you, right? So close your eyes and imagine that your muscles are being stretched and contracted, you know, respectively. As you do it, um, days after days, months after months after months, you would have that. I mean, okay, here's the thing. Like, sorry to interrupt again. Isn't that like what's really happening? Like in reality, that you're trying to emulate in your mind? Like, let me repeat it. Isn't your muscles getting stretched and contracted? In reality, that's what you're trying to emulate in your mind, right? You're trying to copy that feeling of mind muscle connection, and by copying it, like you're pretending that you know what's mind muscle connection. And I promise this is the best way to learn it. You copy it, you pretend that you already know by just, you know, like closing your eyes, and as you're like doing the eccentric portion of the exercise, your muscles are getting stretched, and as you do this, your muscles are getting contracted as you pretend that you already know what the fuck you're doing. I mean, days after days after days, months after months after months, you will like do it unconsciously. When you start to do it unconsciously, when you're literally feeling, without even closing your eyes, like you're literally feeling that tear, like that pump in your chest when you're doing this and this, that's when you know you have achieved a mind muscle connection. And it's only going to get better as you perform that particular exercise again and again and again, right? That's why I said mind muscle connection is only achieved through like practice, right? How good are you at a particular exercise, right? Doesn't matter, like it's not that you have mind muscle connection in one exercises, like in one exercise, and you have mind muscle connection in all of the exercises. No, you like based on the exercise that you perform the most, you would have, you know, better mind muscle connection at that particular exercise. Again, the second point that you need to keep in mind is that perform the exercise with a really good form, like a picture perfect form. And it's kind of like, and the basically the reason I say that is because if you're like doing mind muscle connection, like trying to pretend that you know mind muscle connection, like the first point, with a dog shit form, it's going to like worsen the condition, if not, you know, make it better for you. Because if you're not doing it with a picture perfect form, okay, here's the thing. Let me just say to you why form actually matters. And like everyone says, picture perfect form, picture perfect form. Has anyone ever told you why form matters so much? I'm going to tell you exactly in this video why form matters so much. And this is like information that I discovered myself. I'm pretty sure that you haven't heard this anywhere before, like anywhere. You haven't heard this anywhere, like in no fitness influencer, none of that mainstream media advice. Here's the thing. When you are performing an exercise with a dog shit form, what happens is that you are not using the muscles that you should be using, right? Which in turns accumulates all of the other adjacent muscles. Same thing happens when you are using overweight, like when you eat like ego lifting. Two reasons that you can't really feel pump in that target muscle. Reason number one is a picture of like, you know, like a really dog shit form. Reason number two is like ego lifting. Here's the thing, like what's actually happening when you're using over, like, overweight more than the weight that you should be capable of, like lifting, and you have a really dog shit form. Here's what's happening. When you're doing that, what's happening is that you are involving other adjacent muscles. So let me give you a real life examples. When you're using side, like if you're beginner, if you're doing side laterals, why do you think your front delt gets tired? Why do you think your traps get tired the next day? Like your traps are really sore, even though you never hit traps, you already hit, like, like your chest, your shoulders, and triceps. Why do you think that happens? Do you have an answer for that? The reason it happens is because, first of all, your form was dog shit, maybe, and maybe you were using the weight that you shouldn't be using. What happens is that when your muscles are not capable of lifting that weight, other adjacent muscles come to help, right? Other adjacent muscles come to help that muscle. So if you're doing side laterals, the closest muscles are front delt and traps, right? So they come to help the side laterals, like the side lateral part of your shoulder. Now what happens is that as you, like, days after days, months after months, like years after years, as you keep on doing the wrong exercise, the wrong form, overweight, all of this stuff, you kind of train the mind muscle connection in a different form, where you, like, for you, side lateral means you're training your traps and your front delt. Your side delts never get trained. This is where picture perfect form comes in. If you're doing it side laterals with a picture perfect form, scapula retracted, angle at a 45-degree, like your elbows a little bit like inside, if you're doing it in that form, you make sure that you eliminate your traps and you eliminate your, like, front delts, right? That's when, like, doesn't matter whatever weight you like you use, you're only gonna use the side part of your shoulder, right? That's the importance of picture perfect form. When you have nailed that, then you can try to pretend that you have a mind muscle connection, just like the first point that I explained. That was kind of like a really good point to explain. It took so much time I didn't expect it to take, but yeah, that's exactly the importance of a picture perfect form, and what's exactly happening when you're ego lifting and you have a dog shit form, right? Last point is really simple, which is exercise selection. Like, just select the exercise that you enjoy. I don't enjoy like dumbbell rear delt flies because I don't feel the like good enough mind muscle connection in that. Pick and choose an exercise that you already enjoy, and if you enjoy a movement, chances are that you're going to be doing it for a really long time without someone like me to tell you, hey, keep on doing the exercise, right? So yeah, like, try new exercise, see which one you enjoy the most, see which one you don't enjoy, and just reject those those exercises, right? So yeah, exercise selection is really important. So for me, I really enjoy incline dumbbell curl, but I really don't enjoy those spider curls because I can't really feel my biceps on the exercises, even though I've seen Chris Bumstead do it. But it's not necessarily for me to do it because just because he does it, right? Just because I do it doesn't matter like that you have to do it too. Pick and choose, like, experiment whichever one you feel the best mind muscle connection and just stick with it. It's that simple. And yeah, make sure that you see the point that I made on picture perfect form really well, because that's where the magic happens. That's an advice that you will not hear from anyone else except me, because that's kind of the thing that I kind of discovered. It happens. And yeah, close your eyes, trying to pretend that you already have mind muscle connection. Days after days, months after months, you're gonna feel it. Picture perfect form, exercise selection. As long as you have these in mind, I'm pretty sure that you would have an amazing mind muscle connection in the years coming forward. Yeah, peace.